I have this wonderful information about the placebo effect. It's something that you already have in your mind. All you need to do is direct it. It's a wonderful, wonderful short video. I highly recommend you watch the whole thing. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Frank Quiniguez. I am the ambassador of reading. And today's topic is a great topic. I know I always say that, but this is a topic that will have many benefits during this time, okay? It's called the placebo effect. And maybe you've heard it, maybe you haven't. If you haven't, I'm gonna explain it in a very easy way to understand. When I was growing up, there was a character named Calimán in Spanish, Calimán, and there was a powerful phrase that this guy would always say. He would say, "He who controls the mind can control everything." And then, of course, he had a sidekick named Solín. And we grew up with that character. Now, I only short-lived that scene listening to this character. I was born in Mexico. Then my mother brings us over. I was just a little baby. I must have been 6 or 7 years old. I come here to the United States. Well, then I grew up here and I didn't listen to Calimán again. However, in my adult years, I occasionally meet people that do know about Calimán and they do know the powerful phrase, "He who controls the mind can control everything." And it was just so powerful when I was a kid. It got embedded in my head. Now, years go by, and I'm at the last year of my university, and I'm ready to be graduate as a teacher. And I think I was either taking nutrition or I was taking, drugs for whatever it was. And I came across this one wonderful professor, and she introduced the word placebo, the placebo effect. And I was just so amazed by it and bothered by it at the same time. I waited after class and I asked her, I said, why do they want to mess with people's minds? Why do they want to mess with people's heads? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense for me. I mean, why would you give a patient a sugar pill and say that they're going to get better and be okay with it? And she says, it's not to mess with people's minds. It's to check out the pharmaceutical companies and the power of their pills. And because many times when they're going to do a new pill, they'll bring in 100 people. And she was explaining that some of these people will not get the actual medicine, but they will get the placebo medicine, which is a sugar pill with water. And it didn't make sense. I left it at that, but throughout my years, I love reading. I'm the ambassador of reading, and I love reading personal development books, and I love to read books on finances. I love learning. So I kept on bumping into the placebo effect, and right now it's very powerful to know about the placebo effect. And I'm sure you've heard it. You've heard about it. It's in the news. It's constantly in the news right now. And what it is, in order for the placebo effect, there's an expectancy. You have to expect that it's going to work. So if I recommend this sort of medicine to you for whatever is going with your system, your body, chances are you're going to go, oh, well, okay. But look, if you were to walk into a doctor's office and you tell him, "Doctor, there's this thing that's wrong with me," and the doctor says, "Well, wait a minute, let me do my work." He'll check your heart and he'll check your blood pressure and he'll check your temperature. He says, I see what's wrong. He says, "Here, let me write down what you need to go buy at the pharmacy and take it," and he'll give you instructions. Well, there's an expectancy already in your mind that that's going to work, right? For all we know, he says, nothing wrong with the person. Let me give him some placebo. They're not going to do that. They only do that for when they bring out a new pill or a new whatever medicine that's going to come out. They do the placebo effect to see what the difference is. And you know what? The placebo effect always has good results. And they started studying the placebo effect since the 1700s. I don't know the exact year, and it doesn't matter. And then they've been doing studies all the way up to now about the placebo effect. Now I'm going to make a connection. When I was growing up, that character, Kaliman and Solin, Kaliman being the main character, used the powerful phrase, he who controls the mind can control everything. And pretty much if you connect that to the placebo effect, that's what it is. I mean, you can auto-suggest, you can suggest to yourself that you're going to be sick and sicker, so sick that chances are you're going to die. And guess what? You're sending messages to the power of your brain and you go in that direction. Or you know what? I'm a little sick, but I know I'm going to get better. And if you help your system, if you hydrate your body and you're eating good food that's going to be with plenty of nutrition and the power of the mind connected with a good system, chances are you're going to be good. So I truly think that I'm giving you a powerful, powerful message. And because you can direct your brain to sickness or towards health. You can direct your brain to everything's getting better or everything's getting worse. You can direct your brain like, oh, I'm never going to get out of this, or wow, there must be a way to get out of this. There must be a way to make things better. And I'm connecting that character to the placebo because if you conclude it, my conclusion of the placebo effect is that a lot of it is going to be in your mind and how you direct your mind. Of course, if you're not taking care of the system, I don't care what you're thinking. If you're not eating healthy and you're not getting enough sleep and you're not being hydrated, well, don't expect much. But if you're helping your system and you're helping your mind, chances are you're going to get good results. Now, many times when I make short videos for Facebook, I'll say that take care of your mind, take care of your system, take care of your body, take care of your environment, hang around in a good environment. Chances are you're going to do good. And so I'm going to conclude it with that. Do take care of your mind. Do take care of your system. Do take care of who you hang out with. What are you constantly talking about? I'm going to conclude it and I'm going to mention this just one book. I've mentioned it before. In there's a study. I mean, it talks about autosuggestion. It talks about self-esteem. It talks about so many wonderful things. I highly, highly recommend you go and purchase that book and you read it and take your time. I've read it at least 30 times. I love that book. That's one of the many books that I love reading year after year after year after year. It's done so much for me. Now in there's a story of a study that they can no longer do, definitely not, but there's a doctor that tells, there's a whole process. I'm not going to spend time telling you the story. I'm just going to conclude it. The agreement was that they were going to cut this guy's veins, and they told him, when we cut your veins, all your blood is going to come out. You're going to start sweating. You're going to go into shock, and you're probably going to go into cardiac arrest. But don't you worry, because when that happens, we're going to put the blood back in there, and you're going to be fine. Nothing to worry about. Well, they cut the skin, but not the veins, and they put a little hose with warm water, dropping it on a bucket, and you can hear the blood dropping on the bucket. They tied the guy down. He looks at the time. He starts sweating when they told him he was going to sweat. He starts shaking when they told him he was going to shake, and he went into cardiac arrest and died. Now, they only did a cut skin deep. It wasn't no veins. But like the character that I started out with, he who controls the mind controls everything. He pushed his body to have all these reactions and everything according to what they told him he was going to do, and he passed. So we're going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. Do be careful with what you think. Do be careful with what kind of messages you send for you and for others. Do take care of your body as best as possible, and do be very careful who you hang out with and what you talk about. We're going to leave it at that. Till next time, your friend, the ambassador of reading, Frank Quiniguez, wishing you well today and always, knowing that you will find and get what you are looking for. Thank you for watching our channel, And congratulations for making it here, where we give information that benefits the individual that's watching and their loved ones. I invite you to subscribe and be part of our channel, set the notifications, and watch the new videos. Thank you and welcome.